So here is an example of a congruent halves problem and how you might go about solving it. So reminder that the aim of the game here is to take this shape here and that you are to draw half of it and then transform that half to create a second half such that they go together to make the original shape. So here's a little look about how I might go about doing that. So I think I've spotted a congruent half pattern here. So I'm going to go to point mode and I'm going to draw what I think is one congruent half of this shape. There we go. I take the shape like that. I'll go to select mode, highlight all the points, right click, group to shape. And now I think that if I can repeat it and translate it, it'll go together to make the whole shape. So I'm going to need a translation vector at this point. Here's what I've got here. So I'm going to highlight this translation vector with this shape, right click and choose translation. Right. Unfortunately that's not quite where I want the shape, so I'm going to have to change the translation vector. I think it's moved it along one and up one when I'd like it to be along one and down one. So I'm going to keep that one as it is and choose -1 there. Okay. And then you can see that I've managed to translate the shape and the two congruent halves together go together to make what's equivalent to the original shape. Now here is another slightly more difficult example. One with a few more options to look at anyway. So again, I think the congruent half is a bit easier to spot here. It's going to be that triangle there. The question is how I make the transformation to create the second half. So let me start by making that first triangle. I'm going to put 1 point there, 1 point there, 1 point there, and then highlight them all. Right click and group to shape. That's made my triangle. Now one angle I've got here is that the shape is first reflected and then translated. So I've got myself a reflection line here. I'm going to move that up to somewhere there so that I can use that mirror line right there. I'm going to select the shape, select the mirror line, and then choose reflection. Now the problem I've got now is that it's not quite in the right place, so I might now need to translate this shape. I want it to move down 1, so I'm going to have to change my vector to say that it goes along none but down 1. Okay, so 0, -1. Right, now choose the vector, select the vector, select the shape, and then right click and translate, and yeah, that's beginning to look like it. The problem I've got now is that this shape is in the way, but that's okay. I can choose that shape and I can right click on there, and in the right click menu there is hide shape. So that goes, and now I can see that I have in fact created the original shape by a combination of transformations. Of course, some of you, I'm going to delete that one. Some of you may have noticed that there is another possible transformation that we could use, and we could be using a rotation to achieve this particular transformation. The question is where the center of rotation is. So here is one center of rotation. I'm going to highlight the shape, highlight the point, and then right click and choose rotation. It's going to give me a choice of angle, and I'm now reminded that I forgot to change it to degrees, so I'm going to do that again. Highlight the shape, highlight the point, choose rotation, 90 degrees. I think that rotation needs to go 180 degrees, which means we also don't have to worry about direction. All right. Now the only question is where the center of rotation needs to be in order for those two shapes to be the same, and I can pick up that centre of rotation and I can move it to somewhere where I think it's going to make that happen, and I think it is going to go right there. And now you can see how I've made it with one single transformation as opposed to the two I was using before.